Welcome back to part 2 of the Eggnog Riots. At this point, it's 1826. We're at West Point Academy, and the cadets, all 260 of them, have been told that they're not allowed to drink during Christmas because they got a little too rowdy on the 4th of July doing something called the snake dance. But undeterred, they got gallons of alcohol, and they decided to party anyhow. And that's when Captain Hitchcock is attempting to break up the parties, and he walks into one room, and he sees a bra hiding behind a hat, like literally using it as a disguise so we can't see who he is. And him and Hatman have a great exchange, and it doesn't go very well. And at one point, Hatman gets so upset after Hitchcock leaves that he yells, "Get your dirks, get your bayonets and pistols if you have them." Before this night is over, Hitchcock will be dead. Meanwhile, our beleaguered babysitter, Captain Hitchcock, is stuck going to a lower floor to break up yet another party. Downstairs, he finds a very drunk Jefferson Davis wandering the hallways, just stumbling drunk. Davis decides to follow Hitchcock as he goes into a room to break up one of the parties, and as they walk in together, Jefferson Davis yells, "Put away the grog, boys, Captain Hitchcock is coming." He's already here, dude. Hitchcock just turns around and dismisses Davis and tells him to go to bed. He then reads everybody in the room the literal riot act, saying that this is an unlawful gathering of more than 12 people, and he will resort to martial law to get everybody to knock it off. I didn't know that was the real thing, the riot act. That was neat. Meanwhile, one guy is so upset at his party being broken up, he grabs a pew-pew and points it right at Hitchcock's face. He pulls the trigger, and the only reason why the pew-pew doesn't shoot Hitchcock in the face is because another dude stumbles drunkenly into him. At this point, the other babysitter, Lieutenant Thornton, wakes up and he starts breaking up parties himself. Dude gets a sword pulled on him at one point, and another person pulls his stick and just starts beating him. Hitchcock's got to call in for reinforcements, so that commandant, the guy who's hoisted on the shoulders and rolled back to the barracks for the snake dance, they call for him. The drunken frat boys, though, they think that Hitchcock just called for the bombardiers. They're basically nemesis. So these guys go full tilt. They're ripping banisters off of this staircase. They're breaking dishes, breaking windows. They're tearing the furniture apart. Anything that can break will break, and will do so immediately. These guys are in the prime of their life. They're young. They're incredibly intoxicated, very strong, and now very determined to do things that are just awful. The commandant shows up, and he shuts it down. 90 men, a third of the school was involved in this. 22 cadets are placed immediately on restriction, and then they open up an inquiry that takes several weeks. 19 cadets and 1 soldier were court-martialed. Of the 19, only 8 were allowed to remain at West Point. Only 5 decided they wanted to after that. So yeah, that was wild. What else you guys got for me?